Listen. Sunlight filters through layered canopy, and beneath it, a small bird moves with deliberate care. He arranges a handful of blue feathers, a shard of blue glass, a single bright berry, setting each object like a note in a quiet song. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom.
This is the Satin Bowerbird, Tilinarincus violaceus, a wood bird of eastern Australia, from coastal Queensland and New South Wales down into eastern Victoria, favoring wet eucalypt gullies and shaded rainforest edges. Males and females live in the same woodlands, yet their days can feel like two different stories. The female tending secret tasks of nesting and raising young, the male rehearsing a performance beneath the green light of leaves.
Early life begins quietly. Females choose a sheltered branch or tree fork to build a cup of twigs and softer lining, laying 2 to 3 pale eggs across the breeding season. She incubates alone, attentive, patient, keeping the little life inside warm until it is ready to meet the world. She incubates alone for several weeks, insert local incubation estimate or source here, tending a small clutch, typically 2 to 3 eggs, until the chicks are ready to peep and stretch in a dim nest world.
When the chicks hatch, they appear blind and quiet at first, a soft bundle of down that learns heat and hunger as its first languages. The mother brings insects and soft fruit, and the nest becomes a small, busy place of teaching, which food to accept, which sound to answer, when a parent is near. These early days are slow lessons in a busy world.
As they grow, juveniles learn the language of the forest, which berries are sweet, which calls mean warning, where shade becomes shelter. Young bowerbirds practice flying as if testing the wind. They scratch and hop and sometimes fall, and still they return to the trees to try again. These are ordinary struggles and quiet victories, resilience in small, everyday measures.
Life does not spare its trials. Predators like raptors and snakes take opportunistic chances. Weather can be sudden, storms that wash out nests or thin food supplies, and yet, across seasons, these birds persist. Their survival is not a dramatic headline. It is a slow rhythm of finding food, avoiding danger, and learning from mistakes.
When a male reaches maturity, something remarkable begins. He builds a bower, not a nest for raising young, but a small, staged arena for courtship. He clears a patch of ground, often beneath a screen of ferns or low shrubs, and erects a pair of leaning walls made of twigs. The structure is simple, but what he places inside transforms it into something like theater.
Field notes often describe mornings like this. A male returning again and again to a single corner, each time adjusting the angle until the cap lay flat and shone. That little ritual makes the clearing feel like a set being dressed for a play.
Blue becomes his language. He collects berries, feathers, even bottle caps, anything that reads as blue to his eye. Then he arranges them by size and shine, testing how each piece catches the light. Other males may steal pieces or rearrange them when the owner is away. This exchange is not petty. It is part of an ongoing conversation about taste, skill, and status.
The work of building is patient. He practices grips on twigs. He learns angles that make the walls stand firm. He experiments with how a polished shard reflects sunlight. Over time, some males refine a consistent style, a small signature of choices that can persist across seasons. It is tempting to call it creativity. Better to say it is the product of learning, memory, and selective pressure shaped by generations.
Listen. The leaves have their own slow language for a moment.
Courtship itself is a choreography of patience. A female approaches with measured steps, watching from several paces away. The male performs. He sings a simple, rhythmic series of notes. He bows and prances. He picks up an object and places it with exaggerated care, as if demonstrating competence. If she approves, she steps closer. If not, she may walk away, and he will try again another day.
Female choice is the quiet engine here. She inspects not only the bower's color, but its cleanliness, symmetry, and the male's confidence. A bower cluttered or poorly arranged may fail to convince, while a neat, luminous display can lead to a brief but decisive encounter. The female makes her choice with a kind of sober discernment. Survival and the future of her chicks weigh, even in these moments of beauty.
Beyond romance, bowers shape the forest. They concentrate color and objects into small clearings, attracting insects and helping disperse seeds. Some indigenous knowledge holders describe bower sites as parts of a living map, places that signal seasonal rhythms and animal presence. Where appropriate and with respect, their observations remind us that human memory and bird memory sometimes overlap in the same landscape.
Satin bowerbirds are also problem solvers. Experiments and careful field observation show they can remember which objects change outcomes, and juveniles watch older birds and learn which colors attract attention. This social learning is gentle evidence that complex behavior does not require words. It can flow through observation, repetition, and a forest of small corrections.
Pause with me here. Notice the hush under the canopy. Threats to their world are quieter than we sometimes expect. Habitat fragmentation that scatters the leafy corridors they use, changes in food availability as forests shift, and the subtle intrusion of plastics and color fragments that alter what a male might gather. Some introduced predators can take heavy tolls on nests. Groups such as now map bower sites and plant corridors. Supporting them helps keep these stages in place for seasons ahead. Yet there are helpful responses: restoration of woodland, community-led monitoring, and protected corridors that let birds move with more certainty.
If you were to walk quietly in a wet eucalypt gully at dusk, near a river bend or an old logging coop that has started to regrow, you might find a cleared stage sprinkled with blue. Pause there a moment. Watch how a male returns, arranges, and then waits like a careful actor before an audience of leaves. In the patience of that small theater, there is a lesson about attention. What we notice, we tend to protect.
Practical ways to help are gentle too. Support native habitat restoration groups. Report bower sites to citizen science projects that track breeding. Reduce plastic litter that ends up as brightly colored but harmful debris. And when visiting forests, follow local guidance so nesting areas remain undisturbed. Small actions accumulate, and they keep the stage intact for future seasons. There is a long, quiet arc here. Learning across seasons, cultural transmission in tiny steps, and an inheritance written in choices about color and placement. In some places, scientists have recorded the same male returning to a favored clearing year after year. In others, entire neighborhoods of bowers rise and fall as the bush changes. These patterns remind us that individual lives and landscape change are stitched together.
If this hour has given you a quiet room to consider how behavior, memory, and environment weave together, carry that feeling forward. Listen to the way color matters in a life and how small choices shape futures. Remember them, respect them, learn from them. The dance of nature continues.
Thank you for joining me in the shaded world of the satin bowerbird. If this story brought you a moment of calm or a fresh curiosity, please subscribe to Avian Tranquility and share this episode with someone who might appreciate a gentle pause. And if you feel moved, consider supporting local restoration work or a citizen science project tracking Bower sites. Small acts help keep these theaters alive.
And there for now, we leave the satin bowerbird in its own corner of the living world. Through seasons of work and moments of stillness, the bower stands as both craft and conversation. Watch how the world unfolds, and until next time, may the soft wing beats of nature stay with you. One bird, one story, complete peace.